Good evening, everyone. We're here with the Avid Outdoorsman. We usually start off with what we're here for. Our main goal is to get a lot more kids involved in outdoor activities, the hunting, the fishing, the trapping. Um, we are pretty well diehard trappers more than anything. I still hunt, I still fish, but trapping's life for me. You guys can go ahead, hit that like, subscribe, and the little bell. That way, every time we come on, it'll let you know. Um, we will have a lot more videos up here soon. We are going to be running our trap line we're about a month out, a little less. So tonight, our special guest is Megan Lockwood. She's from here in Ohio. I'm a big fan of hers. She does a lot of nuisance work, and she's a pretty steady trapper all year long, I should say. Also a very big hunter. And Megan has a lot to do with the kids also. She was a part of the she side up at the trapping and the National Trappers Association convention. And that was the first time I had actually met her. I obviously was friends with her on Facebook and stuff, but she's a very good person to listen to learn from. And we're going to bring her on here and she can introduce herself.
What's up, Megan?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So I just get into it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Megan Lockwood. I am born and raised in Michigan, lower part of Michigan, actually, up in the thumb. I started trapping when I was about 12 years old, grew up on a farm, always loved the outdoors, that kind of thing, got into the outdoors more and more through 4-H. I did shooting sports, and that's how I really got into the outdoors, and picked up some traps and started trapping. That was my first passion, and then got into hunting when I was 15. My mom finally allowed me to shoot a deer, so that grew. Everybody knows I'm pretty good at bow hunting. But then last year I was asked to participate in the She Side for women by women, and it's an educational program led by a few of us individuals that are members of the NTA. And this year at the show in Lima, we actually had our very first all women's demo area. So all 3 days there were women doing demos on fox trapping, mink and muskrat, myself, Laura Guinea, she did a skinning demo. There were some great demos by a lot of women in the trapping community, and it was pretty cool to be part of that. And that really sparked my interest in doing more for the trapping community and teaching children and women alike a special skill that not many have. My true passion is trapping. I'm a nuisance trapper. I've been in business in Cincinnati, Ohio for about 5 years. I say we're the leading company of Cincinnati just because we do a lot of work after other companies in our area. And most of the time, our customers don't call us back for the first original problem. They usually call us back if they have a second or third problem. And then they also refer us everywhere. Like, I work solely off referrals all summer long, probably from April till about this time of year. I'm wrapping up some referral jobs right now that are not even in my service area. So when I get referrals, I usually take those jobs just because I know I did a good job for the original customer and they trusted me enough to refer me to their friends and family. So yeah, and got a lot of new things for 2023 that are going to be happening here in Ohio for the women, for the community of women trappers, and it's going to be a pretty big thing. So
you want to talk a little more about that? What's some things you have going on?
Yeah. So there's a group of us women. I'm not going to talk about who yet because it's not all in the books for 100% for sure. But there's 3 of us women who are going to be heading a women's workshop. So it's going to be arrival on Friday, then Saturday and Sunday they'll depart. We're still pinpointing a location and pulling our permits here in the future for either trapping in season or out of season. We we pretty much want to do it out of season, but right before season starts, only because the women that will be coming to our workshop are hopefully going to be starting their own lines. So we don't want to take up their trapping season with a class. So next year in 2023, I'll be working on getting my hunters and trappers education instructor so that I can teach that class at this women's workshop, or host other classes, maybe not have time at this actual workshop. But our plan is to do an educational thing on Friday night when everybody arrives, like a little meet and greet dinner type thing, and do some education and like see what everybody knows. And then on Saturday, we are going to take the women out and we're going to set lines. So on dry land, and we're also going to be setting in water, hopefully. And water is my forte. I started lamb trapping first, but then in 2012, I picked up water trapping, muskrat, beaver, and no otter, only because we didn't really have otter in our location. I didn't trap my first otter till last year. I'm super proud of that one. But we'll be trapping like raccoons and coyote and fox, hopefully anything else that winds up in our traps, like skunks and
Right.
which is fine. I love
All
skunks.
the accidental catches, we'll take them all.
Right. I love possums
Yeah,
too. Like, I don't even let them go to waste. I still skin them. I still flesh
Yeah,
them.
that's how we were too. We bring them all home.
Yeah, that's what I leave for my daughter to flesh.
Right.
That's Linda White telling you that she's.
Yeah, I don't
loves
know if
working
you
with
can
you,
see
excited
the
about the class.
comments.
Oh yeah, I can see them now. I'm just like trying to focus on the screen because I look down at faces a lot instead of looking at so then Saturday we're gonna set lines, and I believe we're gonna do a wild game potluck. So we're gonna reach out to the women who sign up for the class to bring like their favorite recipe and their favorite and prepare their meal in a potluck style, and then have a wild game potluck. And hopefully with details about that, we'll pass out the recipes so everybody can have that to take home with them. And then on Sunday, we are going to check our lines and put up any fur. I think Saturday night, we're also going to do a fur sewing workshop. So the ladies can go home with something that they actually prepared and made in our little craft area.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah. So I know there's the women up in Wisconsin, they did one. It's the women's trap camp. That was a great success this year. So we're not trying to copy them, but we're just trying to expand that kind of workshop, so more women in different regions can get to it. And hopefully this year, if Ohio does really well in 2023 here in Ohio, then we're going to expand up to New York State and do one up there, and hopefully other women in different states like Pennsylvania or out in Nebraska with Nikki Schwartz. Hopefully, like, we are actually doing a women's trapping thing this year with Nikki out in Nebraska in December. So I'm pumped about that too. But hopefully we can expand those kind of workshops all over the nation. So
yeah, and that's kind of how we've been working. And I don't want anybody to feel like we've been trying to steal ideas either. But like, I know Nick Biggs runs his Biggs Time Trapping down there and has his little convention venue deal at his house and stuff. And we kind of want to do the same thing up here, just be able to have a lot of more local people that don't all have to trap. Like, that's the thing. And we want to have some experienced hunters there and some experienced fishermen there to teach the kids, and we've been trying to find a good location that has a pond and has a field and has places for everybody to stay, and do a weekend thing. And we wanted to do two. We want to do one in the spring and one in the fall. So we've been working on that too. So
Right. Yeah. And like here in Ohio, so I attended one of the OSTA board meetings, which was pretty cool. I've always been part of like Michigan stuff because that's where I grew up. And then I came to Ohio and started my nuisance job, and like just kind of separated from the OSTA. I didn't really know about them until the whole She Side thing, which opened my eyes to a great community of guys and women trappers, and like just fell in love with them. So I attended that board meeting and like learning about the different districts, the different district directors, and their workshops that they host. They're all the weekend before Halloween here in Ohio. And just to see the amount of different workshops on there, I can't wait to add ours onto that list, so. And we're trying to do it just for women and a different weekend, because parents run their kids to those workshops, and we want them to be involved on a different weekend so that they can commit to it too.
Yeah, and I think I messaged you the other day about it. If you guys need anything at all, you just let us know. We're more than willing to support you guys. Anything you need.
I understand we're not invited, but
I know. I always feel so bad, like talking about women's stuff and like that it's only for women.
No, that's awesome though.
No, but
because
it's better,
yeah,
it works out better that way.
Like we don't want to be secluded. We want to be included, but we also feel like women learn better from women. Sometimes it's less imitating talking.
And I mean, let's be real. I mean, there's guys out there. I mean, there are some of us that are assholes and are very pleasant to deal with. I mean, and like you said, it's definitely a comfortability thing. I mean,
right.
Women learning from women, you guys being able to get in there and have connections with each other. I mean, that's awesome. So
yeah, and honestly, I talk about it quite often. I've had like previous experiences, going up to trapping booths at conventions all over regions, like not just one state versus the other, and where the person behind the counter looks right through me, answers my question just like that, and moves on to the next person. I might not have been done or wanted to like hear an experience of theirs or something, but then they just like look right through you and just move on. And
little do they know you put up more fur than they do.
Yeah, right. That's my favorite part, honestly.
Yeah, the bragging rights.
So,
you gotta have some bragging rights.
Right.
And I understand it a lot, because my biggest thing in reality is to get kids out there, and it's hard for me to be like, oh, you want to send your kid with me all weekend? You know what I mean? Like, you don't know me. And I get it. Like, and I tell the parents, just come along. That's all. You know what I mean? Everybody come down. You can learn too. I don't care. Like, it's not about that.
Yeah.
And it's a big comfortability thing and a trust thing at the end of the day. It's
most definitely. And we also want the women just to have a whole weekend to get away from their crazy lives at home.
And their husbands.
And their kids. Because I'm a mom.
Congratulations, by the way, Megan.
Yeah, on your engagement.
Yeah.
Hey, you tell him that was a hell of an idea to put that on the Elkhorn, and that was a hell of
No. I put it on. He proposed to me, and I put it on the Elkhorn just for the picture, because I was like,
sorry, Jonathan, I tried, buddy.
But he said he was gonna propose elk or no elk, so like it was already the plan.
It was awesome how it worked out.
It's a funny story, because like the day before I broke my sight off. So we were dressed in our normal everyday clothes. We weren't even planning to hunt. And I had to pee. So I like go across where the truck was and into the woods a little bit farther and peed. And I heard bugles. And he's in sweatpants and Crocs and like go to town to get me a new sight. And I was like, get your shit on. We're going to go chase that bull. And luckily the cows talked to us and everything worked out.
That's awesome.
And he ended like a 10-year chase of shooting an elk. So it was pretty cool. On top of the engagement, that was pretty special too. So
yeah, congratulations to both of you. I know you guys are gonna have some good headwear put in that house here soon, huh?
Oh my gosh. I wish I could spin you around. Like, this is my
yeah, I mean, you shot a monster buck already this year too. I mean, this
is my work office.
You don't know what to do.
It smells everywhere. So, but I shot one.
What's that behind you hanging up there?
That one's just a gobbler. He's
okay.
gobbling on the roost. But here, I'll spin you.
Yeah, there's the whitetails.
Yeah, there's 3 more in this corner over here, and then we've got a
You guys get it done. That's for sure.
Miriam dead bird over here, all kinds of stuff.
So talk a little bit about that. How'd that elk hunt come along? I mean, did you guys go through an outfitter, just hunt public land? I mean, how'd that?
Just one second. My computer came unplugged.
Oh, good.
When I was spinning it around.
Blame that on us for wanting to see the racks.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So we go elk hunting every year.
Okay.
And we always do over the counter in Colorado. We normally would have hunted 80, unit 80. It's down by like the San Juans between Alamosa and Pagosa Springs. And that unit went draw this year. So it used to be over the counter archery, and then it went draw. We put in for our tags for the draw. We didn't draw. And so we were like, we're not going to go elk hunting this year. What are we going to do? You know, I honestly didn't think we were going to plan a trip. And then it was about 3 weeks before we went. He was like, we're going. And I was like, because work gets so stressful all year long, and it's our getaway, you know, go on an elk trip. We get one, we do. If we don't, we don't, kind of thing. It kind of brings us back to reality when we get home. And I was like, I'm not going. I said, I didn't plan to go to Colorado at all. Like, we don't know what we're doing, where we're going to go, what unit we're going to hunt, like how am I going to shut work down. I'm a complete perfectionist when it comes to work. And like, if I don't have it scheduled right, I'm like, no, not doing it. So like, I think even on the way there, it was like, I'm super nervous about leaving work. And we got there, and the area that we hunted, he had talked to one of his older friends, Rick, and Rick said, go try 62. It's a good unit. And so we did. The first day we went for that hike to just acclimate ourselves, because normally I spend like 3 months in the gym prior to going out there, so that I'm
well,
like,
it's a workout.
Yeah. And I smoked cigarettes up until we left for Colorado. So I was like, this year I was like, oh crap, you know, I'm gonna die. My lungs are gonna cave in.
Your lungs are gonna collapse going up the mountains.
Yeah, right. And so I've been cigarette free since. But
I've been trying. I can't stop.
It's hard. I think once, like, I used to be able to stop right away under 30 years old. I hit 30, and now it's like, I can't.
Well, I'm only 25, so I'm really screwed.
Yeah, like 30, I could drop it. I'd be a killer for like 3 days. Like, don't talk to me, don't touch me, don't like nothing. But then get past that day. But now it's like, oh, I still think about him. So
Stressful.
So as since you really like water trapping mainly, what is your favorite targeted species?
Mine is muskrats.
Is it?
Yeah. Like, I love beaver. I love beavers. Like, everything about trapping them. But muskrats, I think it's because when I first started water trapping, that was my target species. Like, that's all I was targeting. And I originally started water trapping in Santa County, Michigan. And so that's up in the thumb. And the farm ditches up there are probably 20 feet deep. They're the big drudge ditches for the farm fields that are tiled into them. So the muskrats get in the tile. They just tear it up. Easy to get permission there. You just go ask the farmer, and they're like, yeah, go get them. You know, so my very first year, I think it was like 674 muskrats in the first week.
So how'd you get?
Wow,
let's hit this subject too before we get too far in. How'd you get into trapping? I mean,
how did I?
Yeah, like how'd your dad trap? I mean, how'd that go about?
I grew up with a single mom.
Okay.
So awesome. Like, my mom is a farm girl. My grandpa was my dad. He was my father figure for sure. And he passed away in 2012. And then my biological dad and my mom are married now. But my dad's not a hunter. My grandpa wasn't a hunter. My uncles on my grandpa's side are hunters. And that's a funny story. But my mom got me into shooting sports through 4-H when I was 9 years old. That's the first time I picked up a bow and arrow. And It was my shooting sports coach, like the 4-H coach,
Yep.
who said, "Hey, you want to try trapping?" Like I set a cage trap, of course, on the farm, get a raccoon or a possum, spear rats in the hay, that kind of thing. But, I never knew what a leg hold was except for on Fox and the Hound and, Disney Channel crap. So, he got me interested in it, and then I just started reading and reading all the books I possibly could, going to the library, getting all that information. The internet wasn't what it is today.
Right.
So like I would go to the public library and search things on there, and just read as much as I could, and just a lot of trial and error starting out. And I ran a line for raccoons along ditches, roadways, farmers' fields, that kind of thing. And that got me hooked. I can still recall the very first animal I caught. I can take you to the very first, like the spot still to this day. Like, caught my raccoon there, and across the road, I sat on the other side of the critter trail that crossed across the road, and I got a double. And
Nice.
that just like hooked me. I still remember like when DPs started to become more popular, and I remember getting like $25 for raccoons, and that was not even fleshing them like and putting
Yeah.
them on boards. So, and then my very first nuisance job, I think I was 16, and I got a nuisance job snaring coyotes for DTE Power Company in Marysville, Michigan, or St. Clair. So, and I snared, I think, 7 coyotes, and that just hooked me there too.
Nice.
So, and then they were like, "Get rid of this woodchuck that's living under." We got possum and we got raccoons in our trash, and then it just was like boom, 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 spiraled out of control. And then I stopped trapping and I stopped hunting for a little while when I was in college. I had my 2 kids then, and then I graduated and moved back home, and then picked up water trapping. So, yeah.
What's your
That's
favorite?
awesome.
What's your favorite set and traps to use for these muskrats?
I like 110s. I don't know. It's probably because that's what I started with, and I was so successful that very first year studying 110s. I think it was my friend Jamie, myself, her husband, and my ex-boyfriend at the time, and so I can't take all the credit, but we did definitely put a hurting on the muskrats in that area that first week, and we set 110s and colony traps, never a foothold. We didn't bait them. We just set them in the creeks and the ditches. There's some state game property up there that we set under the ice, and I will never do that again.
You don't like that?
Horrible. It was horrible. That winter
It
was
is fun.
like negative 20 degrees, like for 2 weeks, and I was having to break 4 to 6 inches of ice overnight, and I was just like, nope, we're just gonna not do that anymore. So yeah, I fell through a lot.
We run a pretty big line, but my biggest thing is like I'll start farthest away from the house, obviously, and then I just kind of transition my traps forward throughout the year, and then I guess I have a main line in the middle that I constantly run it. I might not run 50 traps on the property, but I'll just continuously run that spot. And when I get into my colder weather, I try to, a lot of my 1.5s and stuff that I use for my coon, just for blind sets and whatnot, I start using them for rats, and I don't really bait much either. I just take my knee and I smash the bank down and put some fresh mud there and shove that trapper. Like that's it. There's nothing to it. But I love catching muskrats. It's fun. It's simple, and it's a little.
They flesh just like that.
Yeah,
and just like that. Sorry.
Yeah, and the biggest thing about it for me is because I'm not the best, but you're almost guaranteed one depending on how many
Right.
traps you're running. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it keeps the kids more interested. Like my daughter, I'll run coyote lines and you run coyote lines and she's like, oh my God, like when is this over? And then you get into your
That's
muskrat
me.
and coon traps and she's like, okay, like this is
Right.
it.
Right. And I think that's where like coyotes and fox are really cool. They're my arch enemy. Like I still get them every season. Don't get me wrong. But like when I first started trapping, running just a coon line along the banks of the creeks and being able to go check my line and see a raccoon or see a catch, even a stinky skunk, like it's Christmas morning. And I know that analogy is used through the trapping community. And I feel like you use it when you're super passionate about it because like I can sit in a tree stand all season long and like not really see much. And it's depressing. You just sit there. I love being outside, I do, but then I start thinking of all the other things it could be doing. Trapping.
We say the same thing every time we go out in the woods. every single time. Like, dude, why
are we here? Like,
I know. And like the last 2 seasons I've been super spoiled. So like by next season I'll be like, if I don't shoot it right away or like I don't see the one that I'm going after, I'll be super bummed.
Yeah. But like that's our thing. We said, I mean, I've been sitting in a tree stand for 25 years. You know what I mean? Like we're at the point of, okay, if we're gonna go hunt, let's go to West Virginia and shoot black bear. Let's do something like that, dude. I mean, we only hunt until November, the first week of November anyways. That first week we get everything ready, and the 10th I'm never in the woods again.
And I don't really gun hunt. I really solely bow hunt.
That's all us.
I only bow hunt.
And I don't like to sit in the cold. So I rather just run a trap line, But Jonathan, on the other hand, he'll sit in that tree stand when the snow is blowing and he's all bundled up. I'm like, no.
Has he tagged his buck yet this year?
No. He's after one and he's only daylighted a couple times. So he'll get up. We're having that cold front move through. So
there's definitely a deer that I want, but I went out to put corn out for these guys, him and a buddy of ours that hunts with us. I went out to put corn out the other day, and there's a buck standing in the field. That one I posted, and I was like, "It's over. Like this is it." So I got out, and I grabbed my bow, and I'm pretty much dressed like this, a hoodie, and I crawl through the field, and I marked him. I'm like 37 yards. I said, "It's over." I got him, and I'm like, "Yep, my season's done. I don't need nothing else."
Feel weird though. Yeah. Like I've never shot one this early ever.
He left work at 3:00 and sent me a picture of him and the buck here at the house by 4:30. And I'm like, I mean, we hunt 35 minutes away from work. I'm thinking, dude, you got out of the truck and shot this deer and came home. Like, we shot out opening day, 2 coyotes, shot out a couple times since then. Haven't seen a damn thing. And then goes out to put corn out, and that's usually when we see things. I mean, just like last year trapping. Half the places we trap, I mean, we saw probably at least 5 or 6 200-inch deer last year, just in our fields at 4 a.m.
And a bunch of piebald does last year.
Bunch of piebald.
Yeah.
We have one piebald around this area where I live, but we don't have anything cool like that at the farm.
I mean, I'm talking monster bucks on some of these properties. Yeah. I'm like, dude, why are we trapping here? Let's hunt here too, man.
In the door though.
Yeah, definitely.
In the door.
A lot of the places we coyote trap, though, they have people hunting. That's the big reason they want us to get coyotes out of there. But hey, I'll take the coyotes over the big bucks. I just like the deer meat anyway. So
I don't know about that one. I'm like coyotes, stinky coyotes, big bucks. Like I shot that really nice one last year, and then this year he's really nice. Don't get me wrong. Completely different feelings. 180-inch deer. This one's like 150, but 9.5 years old. We got his age back.
Big body deer.
He was. He definitely was. But.
Oh man. Well, what? Let's see here. Talk a little bit more about your hunting stuff. So you guys go on elk hunts and stuff every year. Do you guys do anything else fun besides that?
Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff. So Jonathan is a turkey calling judge. So we are all over in the springtime killing turkeys. Nice. South Carolina, Florida, Tennessee, Michigan, here in Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, like Nebraska, South Dakota. Like he's gone. He's gonna guide this year. And he's usually gone for as long as turkey season is. He's always like, Megan, do you mind? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Sorry about that.
No, see you later, alligator.
You know, but we do go together doing that sometimes. And then this year I was supposed to go on a bear hunt again in the springtime, and it just didn't work out. So hopefully I'll go on my bear hunt this next spring, so 2023. And we go to Idaho for that. And 2 years ago I shot a blonde color phase bear, and she actually was blonde, cinnamon, and black. She's at the taxidermist right now. Awesome. And then so we bear hunt, turkey hunt, deer hunt, of course, and we actually leave on the 26th of this month to go out to Idaho for mule deer. We drew mule deer tags out there. So nice. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. And then I don't know if they're gonna try to put a rifle elk hunt in there somewhere. I unfortunately can't get a rifle tag because I bought my archery tag, but Jonathan's dad, he still hunts with us and goes on the trip sometimes. So
you guys are just all over the place.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, like we literally work to go hunting, and I don't have a problem with that at all. So I like to. I like
to be outside, huh?
Yeah, I do. Oh, Archer's whining. So, but I also waterfowl hunt. So I like waterfowl too. I almost like waterfowl over deer.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if it came down to a money situation, I would definitely go broke duck hunting.
I know, right?
It's a lot more.
I mean, hell, shotgun shells nowadays are so expensive.
I know.
What did you pay for them 410 shells?
They were $50 for a box, and I'm like, she's only gonna shoot once. You know, it's a single shot. Like I don't need the whole box. You know, I don't want to spend $50 for that.
But you can have them. You can have them for. Was it 10 shells?
No, they were 25. So it wasn't too bad. They're $2 a shell at that, but
right. It's insane, crazy. And that's what Jonathan uses for turkeys. Is a 410, and it's killing machine.
It's a good bird hunting gun, honestly. Mm-hmm. I mean, it really is.
Well, it used to be cheap.
Yeah, now it's not. I think it's because it's on the rage. Everybody wants to shoot a 410, killing turkeys and small game.
I want a 410 double barrel so bad, but
it would be sweet.
I'll ever get my hands on one because I spend my money on other things that are a lot dumber than that. So.
Right.
I trap, so that's where all my money goes.
Yeah, and I'm bad. Like if somebody posts traps for sale, I'm like, oh yeah, I need them. Yep, I don't, but you might as well hang them up.
I moved out to Vegas for like 4 months. I hated it out there. Anyways. He came out there, flew out there, and drove back with me. I mean, we're sitting there on Facebook Marketplace. Oh, okay, Pataskala. Yeah, we go by here. We spent $1,000 on traps on the way home from Vegas.
Some guy hurt his ankle and was selling out, and I was like, "Well, I'll take everything."
Right.
Get there, we count the money. We're like, "We got this much. What do you want to give us?" And we actually got. I mean, I would say he really helped our line out this year. I mean, out of that $1,000, I say we probably got about close to $4,000 worth of stuff.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
he was really selling out.
I bought a bunch of, it was all set up. I bought a bunch of MB550s that have extra chain and JC Connor shock springs and heavy duty swivels, and then a bunch of dog proofs and the 220s and snares.
Pack
and I'm baskets. Like, pack baskets, which my daughter wanted one anyway. So
that's cool. I'm the same way. Mm-hmm. I'm always on Marketplace looking for traps. And I'm like, I don't need any more.
Yeah.
That's how we say. I mean,
I don't even know where to go.
Right. We buy them and bring them in the first shed, and we're like, where the hell are we going to
Can't even put fur in here.
We've got a little obstacle this year. I think we're going to there's two parts of this garage. So I think we're going to take one side as a skinning garage and just throw the furs in here and just fill the fur shed literally up with furs.
I'm just going to put like coat racks up pretty much. That way I can buy more fur hangers and just slide everything down a little bit easier.
Right. We ran just like trapping wire across, and we hook our stuff on that instead of rods. Cheaper because you have trapping wire.
Yeah. What do you use for your kites? What's your main trap to go to?
I like the MB 550s and the 650s, honestly.
So I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe, I went out to JC Connors to pick up some stuff. And talking to old trappers is funny because they have stories, but somebody like him everything is a little secretive, you know?
Right, yeah.
His wife, Marianne, will talk to you. She don't care, but they were out in Arizona one time, and he had a number 2 Bridger in the ground, and they pulled up in the morning, and the coyote popped out of the trap. So I guess JC Connor just said, well, the hell with these, and grabbed every one of them out of the ground and just went to work on them, started grinding all of them. And he's like, well, if they're not going to work, they're going to work when I'm done. He's like, fur don't jump out of the trap when I'm there. He's like, I've never had to pull out since. And I'm like, a lot of people complain about the 550s, you know, and I love them. I mean, price wise and usability wise, because last year we were setting up and I had a really good spot for a coon trap, and I had nothing with me but coyote traps. And I was like, well, MB 550 it is. That's what's going there. And that's what I put there. I mean, the pan tension was fine. It worked. That's what I like a little versatility.
Right. Yeah. I modify everything to have a night latch on it, honestly. Or I modify everything so that it's sturdy, and you know, I'm gonna catch whatever decides to work that set, hopefully.
Yeah, and I get lazy. Like I don't want to go through and file every trap down for my night latch. So having it already there is nice, and buying used traps most of the time is nice because they're already dyed. I'm like, okay, you know, like it took a lot of time out of things, but
the same way I'm like, okay, marketplace, what can I find so I can maybe just speed dip real quick, throw it down. Flea markets. I go to flea markets. And then that's funny because they'll be like, what do you need these for? And I'm like,
what the hell do you think I need them for?
No. I'm like, what the fuck?
Put fur in the shed, that's why.
Yeah, right. And I actually had it in Lima happen. Like I was looking at stuff, Jonathan standing behind me, and the guy was like, what does he need? And I said, what do I need? What do I need? I'm the trapper here.
They better recognize that damn face if they're going to be talking.
One of these days.
Like that.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody's like, where'd this girl come from? I don't like the limelight.
From Michigan?
Yeah, exactly.
From my mom in Michigan?
Yeah. I was really quiet on social media before like Lima. And it's just because I didn't like people in my business.
Yeah.
And I don't like the negativity that follows you.
And it does happen. I mean,
and those are people who don't even know you, but they're going to try to make you seem a certain way, even if you're not. So it's just how it is.
I'll get my hate mail on here.
Right? You have it in every industry though. Hunting, fishing, trapping.
Well, that's one thing we like about the trapping community. And we've talked about this probably on every podcast, but trapping community is so tight knit. Like we say this all the time. You go to an NRA event, you're not going to sit down and talk to Steve Ranella. You go to an NTA event, you're going to be able to talk to some of the best trappers that are still alive. You know what I mean? And hear their stories and get advice from them. I mean, hell, if it was, shout out to Flesh and Outdoors and No Name Trapper Logan and all them. I mean, if it wasn't for those guys, that's who we get a lot. You as well. I mean, we get a lot of our knowledge from you guys, and being able to talk to each other and get together. The hunting community, I feel like, is it's so competitive. I mean,
Yeah, and it's stupid. Like
I agree.
this is how I see it, even with the trapping community being involved in the last year, like in the limelight type situation. Like there's already been things said about me that aren't true. And it just blows my mind because these people don't know you. But it's gonna happen no matter what you're in. You could be in bowling and somebody might not like you because you can bowl really well, and they're gonna try to ruin just who you are to somebody else.
And I did see the post the other day that you commented on, and
like,
I agree.
Yeah.
Like it, even if I don't like you, there's no reason for me to run you down ever.
Mm-mm.
And especially somebody like me, I mean, you can talk about me all you want. I don't care. You know, it is what it is.
I'll come shake your hand and tell you about me if you want.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't like me, keep stepping. I don't care.
Exactly.
You can say what you want to say because I know the truth. You don't. So
yeah, and I just don't I don't understand it. Like that is somebody else in the same community, you know what I mean, trying to do the same thing that's just trying to put dirt on somebody's name, and I just don't get it.
Because I don't care what community you are, hunting, fishing, trapping, we are a dying breed. 100%. And I mean, that's why we do what we do. I mean, especially us. I mean, you're very involved with getting kids and getting more women and stuff. And I mean, that's our big thing. And not even, I mean, obviously kids and the younger generations are our main focus, but there's those hunters out there that want to learn more about these animals, you know? And getting an active hunter or getting them involved on a trap line or a fisherman or even getting a trapper out hunting or something like because one thing about trapping is you learn the animals from a completely different perspective. And
our knowledge is here.
Like you go out, we talk about it all the time. Before we really started running these long lines, we go out deer hunting, we sit in the tree stand, call it a day. Now we're out scouting, looking at properties. Even at work, we're like, dude, look at them damn coon trails. I mean, we're thinking like, can we call this guy and get nuisance jobs during my 9 to 5? I mean, and I think that trapping is a big thing that some people are kind of scared to get involved in because it's not easy. I mean, especially if you run long lines. I mean, him and we probably have 3 stops out of our 65 miles that we can just get out of the truck and it's right there. Everything else is 4-wheeler or we're hiking miles into the woods. And people don't like that. And I think obviously we all know it gets a bad look too, but that's why we want to get these people out here, get them involved and show them why we really do it. Because I mean, I'm not out here just killing things to kill things.
And
easy to do it.
Everybody, I don't know. I'm a little weird, but I sell everything, you know, and all the meat, I literally freeze it all. And in the spring, I have a wild game feast, and everybody comes. You know, if you've never had raccoon before, try it. If you don't like it, I don't care. And you know what I mean? I might not like it, but it just, you know what I mean? It's that I just save it all, and that people.
This man will eat anything.
Oh yeah.
I'll eat a lot, but I told him, I said, I'm not eating.
There's only one thing that I can guarantee you I will never eat again, and that is a moon pie. Other than that, I will. There's 1,000. You could put me on alone and drop
really
off
good
a
for
box
raccoons.
Yeah, but you could drop off a box of them to me on alone, and I'd starve to death. I'd never eat them.
I don't know if I could eat a raccoon. It just. You smell it when you're skinning and you're fleshy, and like that smell I can imagine it tastes similar to how it smells, and that's just very off-putting.
Because you think about it.
Well, hold on, guys. Here's
There it
again.
is.
Get shut off completely.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what
don't know
happened.
Did it shut off on your end?
Yeah.
I mean, we're connected and stuff, so
I know.
no
I was
idea
like,
what
can
happened.
you hear me? Can
We're
you hear
back, folks.
Yeah.
we're back at it. But anyways, what I was asking, are you on YouTube or anything? Do you do any content that way?
me? No.
No.
She's
Do you
like,
have any plans to do anything like that?
No. I am like, okay, so I am the worst photo and video taker.
Oh
Like,
yeah, have you seen our YouTube channel?
It's not even the fact that I can't do it, it's just I forget to do it. Like,
yep.
I
That's
get
my
into
biggest
this
thing.
swing of checking, or like even at work, I try to post a lot of work stuff, nuisance jobs and that kind of thing. And I either forget my tripod and who wants to seriously
And that's my thing too. I'm the same way. I'm on the phone the other day. I'm talking to Colton Morris, and we're going to release a Bobcat. And he's like, "Oh, dude, take a video of that, puts it on our channel. It's great."
Right.
And I get down in the woods, forgot my phone in the truck, didn't think about taking a video because we don't have a catch pole. So I'm about to have a WWE match with this Bobcat.
Right. Yeah.
And then I get done with it. I'm like, I text Colton. I'm like, "Oh yeah, it was pretty easy. I probably should have got that on video." And I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, dude, that'd been awesome content." I said, "Dude, this is one thing we slide.
I don't think about it.
No.
Well, I'm focused. I got a Bobcat sitting in the creek bottom.
I know.
Like,
I'm the same way. I just or the other day I set up and I'm gonna put my waders on in a time lapse, and I'm gonna make a video of me checking my muskrat trap and pulling traps. And the very first video, I'm putting my waders on and I fall over. I'm like, okay, there goes that one.
That's what we said. The only way we'll be able to get some good content is, and we are gonna buy them. We're gonna get chest mount GoPros and stuff this year. So, I mean, that's gonna be the easiest way to do it. I mean, we run a long line. We run a long line. We run a big line. It's hard unless we have somebody else to come out with us. I mean, we're both setting traps, pulling stuff out of traps. I mean,
exactly. And you're on a schedule. So you have to get it done.
I know at 3 a.m. when I wake up to go check the first part of my line, I'm not worried about getting it on video. I'm worried about getting it done and going to work and taking a nap.
I do know that at midnight, though, on November 9th,
we're setting all of our traps.
I will be setting traps.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's
I'm
what
on
we would do in water trapping up north in Michigan, was start at midnight.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of trappers that trapped the same area. Mm-hmm. So if our traps weren't in the water by 12:15, there was somebody there setting that same creek. And I will set the same creek as somebody. I don't have a problem with that. So the best trapper wins. Mm-hmm. But if you touch my shit, I'm a confrontational person. I might be this little tiny girl, but if you steal my stuff, if you talk crap about me, I've had people come up to my tree stand with me sitting in it, and try to climb up my tree stand on public ground, of course. But
oh my God. I wouldn't have been good if I caught one. This is my buddy from work. He said, this man said going to work and taking a nap.
What do you guys do for work? Work?
We do line clearance for AEP, so we do all the tree work and stuff. Yeah. We work for Asplin, the big orange bucket trucks. I'm sure you see them up there too.
That's cool. Yep. My ex-boyfriend worked.
Well,
and did the same.
My boss ain't on here. My job actually sucks.
Yeah, our job sucks, but we get paid good money, and thank God we have a boss that sticks up for us because it allows us to kind of do what we want to do in a sense. And and still, I'm not saying we don't work, but we get things done. And I mean, if he pulls up on me and I'm feeling like shit one day, I'm like, look, Drew, I'm chilling today in the truck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he will
do circuits. So you on a map, and
it's his big brother, so we can really do whatever.
It's my little big brother.
He's a little guy, but
that works.
Watch this comment will explain the height problem. I think the ball's under the back.
Under the shelf.
Yeah.
Well, with 10 minutes left, Megan, give us what advice would you have for a new a new trapper or even a new woman that's getting interested in trapping? Sorry. What advice do you have to give?
My favorite advice to give is seriously find somebody that you look up to, that you're comfortable with, man, woman. This year I have switched to like using all children made baits and lures. Like I'm
Mhm.
giving it a go. And
We're
it's
on it.
Supposed to.
it's because like even though I'm gonna be 33 years old, I look up to those little kids that
Mhm.
are following their passions of pursuing a future in trapping. And it's not just putting themselves out there, but you can tell when a little kid is putting in the time, and even if it's with guidance and help from a parent or grandparent, or even if the guy down the street or the woman down the street, like that shows what kind of kid they are and what their passion is and how deep that passion runs. So what my advice is like hook up with somebody that you actually really do look up to. It can be older, younger, male, female, it doesn't matter. And you ask them questions. You basically, it's like a job shadow almost. Of course, you have to see if they're going to mind
Mhm.
you asking all those questions, because some people do mind, but I do feel like the trapping community, they do give a lot of advice out. And just by asking questions and like leeching on to somebody, attaching yourself to somebody, if you have questions in certain things. Like I need to become a better coyote trapper. So like Lydia here in Ohio,
Mhm.
I love
She's a
her.
beast.
And I know.
She's a beast.
And like the whole time in my mind, I'm picking her brain, like on Fox Jobs, I pick Linda White and Laura Gidney. Laura
She's a
Gidney
beast too.
for sure, and Linda. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what can I do to better this?
Right.
Even though I've been trapping for 20 years,
We can
this
all learn.
20 years, yeah, you're learning every day. And if you think you know everything, you don't.
Yeah.
And if you think you're better than somebody else, you're not. Because if you have
Yeah,
that
that's a fact.
mentality, you're not,
Yeah.
you got to stay humble.
Gotta stay humble.
And you speaking on, kids baits and stuff. I know you ordered from us the other day. We have been selling Brody's baits. But another thing for me is small time bait and
Yeah.
lure makers. Dale Billingsley, he's not commercial.
Yeah.
So I buy a lot from Dale. And stuff
Shout
like
out,
that is good for them. That's what I want. Like I don't honestly, at the end of the day, I don't care if any of Brody's stuff sells. I don't. I bought it, I paid for it from him,
Right.
and that's it.
And I'm gonna buy more.
And I'll buy more regardless. If I have to use it, I'll use it. I mean, but
Stingray cider. I am so excited for that one. I'm not even lying.
you
I've talked
should
about it for a
be.
week.
You smell that?
I
You
haven't
should-
got it yet.
It
So
should be.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
sent
You
it out Friday.
That's right.
it
So
should be
it'll
here
probably
soon.
Monday.
Hey,
Monday
you
or
have.
Tuesday.
Let us know about that Stingray
That
cider.
that
'cause
stuff's something
That's gonna
else.
smack you in the face.
It's just different. Like
Right.
I have thousands of baits in here, and you
Right.
could go through and smell them, and you smell it. It's just different. You can tell the difference.
Yeah. I'm
And
super excited about
And
that.
let me
and yeah, me too. I'm super excited to use it this year.
And let me say something about these small dealers too, and nothing against any commercial dealers or anything like
Right,
that. But
right.
honestly, I've come to find out these small dealers got the stuff that really works. I mean, these guys are taking the time and really testing the stuff. You get into a commercial dealer, they're just making it, boxing up and sending it out. And I mean, I've smelled some stuff from some of these small dealers that you're just like, what in the hell did you do to this?
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, makes me want to jump in the trap.
Right.
And it becomes I do a lot of bait and lure making here,
Right.
and I do understand it. Like you buy commercial caster.
Yeah.
Well, they want to buy 5 pounds from you, but not even an ounce goes into a 4-ounce container.
Right.
So, but that's when I make my own, 4 ounces to a 4-ounce container with a wee little bit of glycerin, like that's it. It's pure caster. I won't have to mix it with Vaseline. So it does. A lot of these smaller dealers are pure gland, and it works.
And it works better. And there's nothing against the big ones, because I have a whole array of baits and lures and anything, you know. And my truck always smells. I have a work box in the bed of my truck that has them in a plastic container, because I used to carry them in the truck. And I just tell, if I ever get pulled over and they think something funky's going on, I'm like, here's a bottle of this. Give it away.
Yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah, sorry, the coyote piss spilled in my back seat. Don't worry about it.
Kate B's Gold Digger and Gold Digger, I think. And oh my gosh, that one is potent. It's in a glass jar, in another glass jar, because it just is like, whoo, girl. And it separates a little, and I'm like, oh, let's stir that bad boy up.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Like the smaller stuff, just I don't know. They take the time.
It's differently.
Yeah. Yep. I love it.
Well, Megan, it was great having you.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
I appreciate everything. And I mean, I hope we'll have you back sometime. And
definitely. Hopefully mid-season.
Yeah, that's probably what we're gonna do. We're gonna probably hold off on these for the next couple weeks, and then we'll start back in mid-season with everybody and see where everybody's at. So
I gotta find a new pot to boil traps in before season starts.
You're running out of time.
Yeah, you are.
But back to anything that you guys have going on, any support, any sponsors, anything you need, please just let us know.
Yeah, most definitely we will. And like we're still in the beginning stages of planning. So, you know, I don't know what we're looking at sponsorship wise or anything like that. But as soon as we get that information, I'll be reaching out, because it'd be great to have goodie bags to send home with all these ladies, and
we'll get them taken care of. So just let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Megan. Take it easy.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great night.
You too.
Cool. That was a good one, guys. I mean, she's so involved with, I mean, just not just trapping, but the whole outdoor community in a whole. I mean, she does a lot. Like I said, and we said on the podcast, the NTA last year, she played a big part in that, and plays a big part in getting these kids and these women out here and running lines and doing things outside. That, I mean, that's, like I said, that's our goal. Keep this thing going.
Yep. I just wanted to let everybody know again. I seen we had some newer people on tonight, but you guys can go ahead, hit that like, subscribe, ring the little bell there. You can go ahead, check out our Facebook page also. We have Brody's Baits for sale. Brody's a 9-year-old from PA. He was on here last week. And we got some of his baits for sale. We got some other stuff going on. We got some giveaways for the kids on the page.
I do want to do a shout out to Duke Traps. So we are officially sponsored by Duke Traps now. So this podcast is brought to you by them. I mean, honestly, I'd say 98% of what's in our trap line is Dukes. We ran them our whole lives, and we stay where it's tested and proven. So shout out to Duke Traps. Thanks for helping us out. And I mean, we got T-shirts and stuff too, guys. Anything you guys need from us, you let us know. Want to shoot the shit, talk trapping, talk outdoors, just get at us, guys.
One more thing. I want to do a shout out for Dale Billingsley at Billingsley Brand Lures. Dale's an awesome guy. I just got some more stuff in from him today. Shout out to Fleshner Outdoors. He also does podcasts. If you guys want to check him out on his page there, go ahead, check out No Name Trapper. He is from Iowa. He has a lot of good content on YouTube, and we will be uploading some more content here as soon as season hits.
Yeah, when season hits, we'll get a lot
more videos.
So we'll get a lot better at that.
I appreciate everybody tonight.
We're the Avid Outdoorsman, boys. We're out.
We're the Avid Outdoorsman. We're out.